بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أولياءك في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم فرج عنا وعن إخواننا في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم انصرهم. اللهم نفس كربنا وكربهم وثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. وصل وسلم على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Allah Akbar, la ilaha illallah. Okay, so we're continuing a reading of Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. We're still looking at, we have been looking at Imam Iqbal's critique of Einstein's conception of time. And we already looked at his claim that time as a free creative movement has no meaning for the theory, that is the theory of relativity. It doesn't pass. Events don't happen. We simply meet them for this theory. So time for relativity doesn't pass, according to Iqbal. The time is not a flowing river. That's Heraclitus's analogy. So Allama Iqbal is very much Heraclitean in that sense. For him, time is a flowing river in a sense. So time is not a flowing river, it's something static, something already complete. So it's something complete which is unfolding. So if we talk about Geist unfolding, so this is another understanding of, so Geist is already complete. It is just unfolding itself, it is expressing itself. Nothing new in there. On the other hand, Allama Iqbal conception of Geist is it's unfolding, but unfolding unseen. So it is creative in that sense. Self-expression is not just self-expression, but it is also creation. Creation means it is something unexpected or unseen or unseeable, something totally new. That's his conception of creativity. On the other hand, in this conception of time, he's criticizing. It's already complete. past, present, and future in a sense is they already probably exist simultaneously in that sense. For Allama Iqbal, on the other hand, future is totally um, real future cannot be anticipated. Yes, so that's very important. From there, the second sentence follows in a way. Uh, so, what was it? Events don't happen. The happen is something which you can't anticipate. We simply meet them. Simply meet them meaning they're already there. So if all of time already exists at once, then the events are not unfolding, or if they are unfolding, they are unfolding of something which is already there. It's just unpacking. So they are not unfolding in real time, but as we perceive them. Instead, we merely moving through a pre-existing four-dimensional landscape, which is already there. Encountering events in a sense which are already there. So this is it must, however, so time as a free creative movement has no meaning for the theory, for Einstein theory. It does not pass. It does not pass. That is, time doesn't pass, doesn't flow. Events don't happen. We simply meet them, they're already there. So what Allama Iqbal is criticizing here is sometimes what's called it's called I mean, one of the theories they might be criticizing here is what we call nowadays block universe theory. So block universe theory, which is one interpretation of Einstein's theory of space and time as well. It's also known as eternalism. And this is a theory that this is a model of space-time. According to which all moments in time, that is past, present, and future, they past, present, and future, they are simultaneously what we said, they are equally real, and they are, as we saw, exist simultaneously. So future is already there. It's just hasn't unfolded yet. So they are equally real and exist simultaneously as a four-dimensional block exists simultaneously, four-dimensional. So Allama Iqbal rejects this view. For him, a universe is actually being created. That's how he interpret, for example, the verse in Surah Rahman, Kullu Yawmin Huwa Fi Shan. It's being created. So there's a universe which hasn't been created yet. So there is a future which doesn't exist yet. I don't know whether he would reject whether it doesn't exist in God's knowledge either, but sometimes what he says, at least in these lectures, is quite audacious in the sense that he might even be saying that God himself is creating himself. He hasn't completed himself either. Obviously, when he is, if you ask him his view, he would reject that as an Islamic creed, but philosophically he has said those sort of things. In his poetry, we find glimpses of that as well. Not just glimpses. If you want to get a glimpse of that, just read his Saqinama, for example, in Bangedara. Okay, so it must not, however, be forgotten that theory neglects certain characteristics of time as experienced by us. The subjective element, not in the sense that it, like how we experience time from the perspective of a subject, obviously is not captured by Einstein theory. But for Allama Iqbal, that dimension is also an essential dimension of time. So our experience reveals something objective about time, which is not captured by Einstein theory. So that flow of time is captured by our inner experience of time. And sometimes in other contexts, Einstein uses that example of flow of time as well. When he is trying to explain the relativistic side of his theory. So, and it's not possible to say, so it must not, however, be forgotten that the theory neglects, that is the theory of relativity neglects certain characteristics of time as experienced by us. And it is not possible to say that the nature of time is exhausted by. So he is not criticizing Einstein theory for doing what it does, but he is criticizing those who take the theory's conception of time to be the totality of the nature of time. What he's saying is that Einstein theory doesn't exhaust the nature of time. And it is not possible to say that the nature of time is exhausted by the characteristics which the theory does note in the interest of systematic account of those aspects of nature which can be mathematically treated. So mathematical understanding of nature or description of nature is not rejected, but as long as it is treated as a limited view of nature. Nor is it possible for us laymen to understand what the real nature of Einstein time is. It's obvious that time, however, it is in a way. Einstein's time is not Bergson's pure duration, because Bergson's pure duration sort of captures for Iqbal that sense of flow of time, uh, subjective flow of time, and all those things which is captured by our subjective experience of time. So Bergson's pure time as pure duration here stands for everything Allama Iqbal had in mind as an alternative when he was criticizing Einstein's conception of time. So pure duration, time as pure duration is basically a lived time as lived and experienced by a subject or human consciousness. In contrast to the time we have been looking at. So this is in contrast to conception of time, which Allama Iqbal has been criticizing, which is specialized, quantitative, which science uses and which is measured by clocks. So this conception of time is contrasted by this conception of time, which is subjective consciousness, lived and experienced by human being. And this conception, this has few characteristics. This pure duration. One is it is continuous and indivisible. So, according to Iqbal, as serial time, for example, as Allama Iqbal says, is specialized time in the sense that it is based on the conception of space made up of points. So, time is treated as linear in that sense, made up of a line, and instead of points, you have moments. So, this time is specialized time is discrete, distinct moments, instants, seconds, hour. On the other hand, pure time is pure duration is seamless, continuous flow, like river. That's what the example of river is. On the other hand, the second thing is this time is pure duration. It's qualitative and heterogeneous. The clock time treats all moments as identical and homogeneous. On the other hand, your lived experience, everybody's experiences. Firstly, the time is indivisible, and you can't quantify it. It is more qualitative, so that's why it is the things which you attribute to it, like intensity, flow. These are qualitative things. Things. Sometimes that time also feels still, but this stillness is totally different, etc. So and no two moments are actually identical to the other. So in that sense, it's heterogeneous. Um, the third is that it is non-spatial, so it is not based on a conception of line, conception of points or moments which can be divided, etc. It's more like flow. So once it is gone, it is gone. The in a sense that time here interpenetrates, so present, past, future interpenetrate with each other, and blend into one another. The past go into present and future. So you, Along Iqbal, criticizes specialized time because trying to specialize, trying to understand time by treating it like space is dividing it into measurable, distinct parts. When we do this, we lose this fluidity and dynamic nature of real time. Okay. Yeah. And the fourth thing, which novelty and creativity. So specialized time is not novel in a sense. It's cause, effect, predetermination, present, past, and future, or the other way around. In a sense, one moment they're already given. Yeah, that's what Paul criticizes. On the other hand, this lived experience of time is you don't know what is going to come next. So you have a real fear of future in that sense. You can't anticipate future you can anticipate, but you can't predetermine in a way. And anticipation is more vague. So this time, conception of time in a subjective experience or pure time is pure duration is a creativity. So pure duration is it allows for genuine novelty and creation. And for atomic world creation is, as we saw, something which cannot be anticipated in a real sense, in a more literal sense, and which is unseen, unforeseen in that sense. And obviously, and the last thing is you for Allama Iqbal, you don't. This time as pure duration is accessed through intuition, not through your concept and understanding, as serial time is. Okay. So Bergson's pure duration. So nor is it possible for us laymen to understand what the real nature of Einstein time is. It's obvious that Einstein time is not Bergson's pure duration, nor can we regard it as a serial time. Serial time is the essence of causality as defined by Kant. The cause and its effects are mutually so related that the former is chronologically prior to the latter, so that if the former is not, the latter cannot be. Although for physics, cause and effects are symmetrical, but that's probably something which we don't need here. So if mathematical time is a serial time, then on the basis of theory, it is possible by a careful choice of velocities of the observer and system which a given set of events happens to make the effect precedes its cause. So then that's what's Kant, and then he goes on to, if mathematical time is serial time, then on the basis of theory it is possible by careful choices of velocities of the observer and the system in which a given set of events is happening to make the effect precede its cause, because two moments are identical in us. So there's symmetry. It appears to me that the time regarded as for them really ceases to be time in that subjective sense. Subjective, or in the sense of pure duration anyway. Let's stop here, and we'll continue from here inshallah next time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلي وسلم على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين.